We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
You've heard Alex explain how the Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced colloidal silver solutions, yet many are unaware of the entire function of the Silver Lung system and how it has been designed to deliver your silver solutions anywhere in or on the body. My name is Mario Cifaldi, and I'm the developer of the Silver Lungs generator. Not only does the Silver Lung system produce endless colloidal and ionic silver solutions, it also comes equipped with the proper applicators and devices needed to deliver your silver solutions directly to key target areas. This includes the eyes, ears, nose, lungs, topically to the skin, and orally for the digestive system. Be sure to watch our new 7-minute video tour of the Silver Lung system at www.silverlungs.com to learn more about how the Silver Lung system works. As well, we are always ready to answer any questions you may have. That's www.silverlungs.com.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. Diamond Gusset is proud to announce the anthem of the Patriot Movement. They're offering a free CD, T-shirt, and bumper sticker with a qualifying purchase. Diamond Gusset offers great products at great prices while keeping Americans working.
I'm looking for a factory where a man can feed his family, not worried about them moving it south, closing the doors and shutting her down tomorrow. I'm looking for America.
We're American and be proud. Go to gusset.com/America.
Land of the free and the home of the brave. Seems like I just woke up one day and it was gone, long gone. But I know in my heart it's still
Again, go to gusset.com/America today.
We now take you live
To the Central Texas Command Center.
in the heart of the resistance. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
We're going to be talking live to financial analyst of great renown, Peter Schiff, syndicated radio host as well. Here in just a moment, I want to remind listeners that we have Jesse Ventura's new book and are shipping it daily. 63 documents the government doesn't want you to read. Incredibly powerful. A perfect tool to wake up your friends and family. Available at Infowars.com. When you get it with Big Brother, The Orwellian Nightmare Come True, Mark Dice's new book, or the only place you can get it, at Infowars.com, breaking down this panopticon of surveillance society. When you get it discounted with Jesse Ventura's new book, you can get one of my best-selling films for free. Whatever you'd like. Fall the Republic, Obama Deception, Endgame, you name it. That is all available on the online video bookstore shopping cart at Infowars.com. Or you can simply call toll-free 888-253-3139. You can also write to us at P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas 78760. And your purchase of the books, the videos, the liberty-minded T-shirts, it helps you spread the word, but also helps this operation fund itself. We're not funded by George Soros or News Corps or the Ford Foundation. We are supported by our sponsors and by the online video bookstore as well. as the GCN radio network, and we're very, very thankful for their support. Also, in this economy, we're getting more and more great AM and FM affiliates out there. Please support their local sponsors, or if you're a listener and have a business, support the Liberty Movement as this show explodes. Think about sponsoring the show locally in your area. That's also a very important part of this operation continuing to grow and expand here at the tip of the spear. Also, just spreading the word. If you're listening to us on a local AM or FM station, tell people at a red light or the grocery store or at church or at work how they can tune in to their local AM and FM affiliate. Or XM now carries us live during the day, not just rebroadcast at night. You can also spread the word about that. And then people can also listen to the free podcast every day or the live streams at Infowars.com. And we're streaming in live video, living color, with an added dimension of information with the video clips and the documents at prisonplanet.tv. And that's also not just streamed live. It's archived each and every day. Just about an hour after the show ends, it's uploaded to prisonplanet.tv. I wanted to get Peter on a host of issues. It is being reported by Cyber News Service and others. March Madness, U.S. government spent more than 8 times its monthly revenue in the month of March. Also, the Liberty Dollar, folks, has been convicted, Mr. NotHaus. And on top of that, the feds are trying to forfeiture $7 million in silver and gold coins that they have. And they're trying to push the idea that they can basically confiscate gold and silver. This we have to stand together or hang separate. Peter Schiff is CEO and Chief Global Strategist for Europe Pacific Capital, Inc. Mr. Schiff began his investment career as a financial consultant with Lehman Brothers. After having earned a degree in finance and accounting from UC Berkeley, a financial professional for over 20 years, he joined Euro Pacific in '96 and has served as president since January 2000. He's also contributing commentator for Newsweek International and serves as an economic advisor to the 2008 Ron Paul presidential campaign. Europac.net is the website. Peter, thank you for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me on, Alex. And just to remind your audience, you know, my show immediately precedes your show on this network now. I'm on for 2 hours a day from 10 to noon on GCN.
Absolutely. Excited to have you as a member of the team. I've heard the show sounds great. Peter, so much to talk about. Bretton Woods 2 going on with Soros today. IMF coming out saying capitalism has failed. But this system of crony capitalism or inside corrupt mega banks getting government to basically make the public pay for their losses, that's not capitalism, is it?
No, not at all. Capitalism works everywhere it's tried. The problem is capitalism is often infected with the disease of socialism or statism. That's what happens. And whenever you mix capitalism with socialism and you create problems, the politicians always blame the problems on capitalism, and they ignore the fact that they were introduced by the socialist legislation that prevented capitalism from working.
That's what's happening, and now we see the Democrats trying to sick the unions and people on other Americans that want to see the budget cut. What's your basic political forecast on where this country currently is and where it's going?
Well, we're in a lot of trouble. You know, and the country is going to get into deeper trouble because we continue to repeat the mistakes that created the problems in the first place. And, you know, when they're trying to couch the argument of cutting back on government spending as somehow being anti-workers, because after all, government workers are going to see their pay cut if we cut back on government. But if we don't do that, then we have to cut the pay of everybody in the private sector because we have to raise their taxes to continue to pay government workers more money than their bosses in the private sector are making. So if you really want to be on the side of the working man, then you've got to be for smaller government because the working man cannot afford the massive government bureaucracy that he's being forced to pay for right now.
Well, if you look at a lot of the super rich at the brokerage houses and mega banks that have gotten, you know, the trillions in bailout money, they're financing the George Soros crowds, the unions on record, to then put out numbers about 5% of the population has half the wealth. And basically the ultra-rich, many of them are trying to sick the uninformed blue-collar folks, some of them, on the middle class, who on average is really paying around 40%. in federal income taxes. So do you agree with me that basically you've got a lot of insiders who are ultra wealthy trying to scapegoat things onto the middle class?
Well, certainly you've got a small segment of the wealthy people who got their wealth through government subsidies or special access granted by government or through the central bank. A lot of Wall Street bankers, financiers are getting rich as the Federal Reserve helps them, bleed the rest of the country. But the vast majority of Americans who have wealth achieved it honestly. They started legitimate businesses. They didn't get special government breaks. In fact, they had to overcome all the obstacles and hurdles that the government put in their path. They are the real heroes. They create the wealth, provide the goods and services, provide the employment opportunities. And it's unfair that they're getting tarred with the same brush. And when you have the central bank doing what they're doing, giving capitalism a bad name, it is stoking the fears of socialism and feeding this class warfare, because the average Americans are getting poorer. The value of their wages, the value of their savings is being destroyed by the government, by the Federal Reserve. And as they fall further and further behind, they're looking for someone to blame. And when they see in the media these Wall Street tycoons making a fortune, it's very easy for the demagogues to come in and channel that rage and beat the drums for socialism, get the rich, soak the rich, take their money. And then, of course, once you go down that path, there's no turning back, because everybody has somebody who's poorer than them who thinks they're rich. And if you have the guy that's making $100,000 a year wants to take money from the guy that's making $1 million a year because he doesn't need all that money and make him pay his fair share, well, to the guy that's making $30,000 a year, the guy that's making $100,000 a year, he's rich and he doesn't need all that money either.
And then meanwhile, we have General Electric, Google, and a handful of other Fortune 100 who help write the loopholes publicly in Congress. They're paying 0 tax or 2% tax or 2.5% tax. And literally, I've studied it, they are the ones financing the big foundations at the universities, teaching the young people that their future is based on wealth redistribution, when the mega rich themselves have basically written the rules where they're exempt from this.
And meanwhile, companies like General Electric would have been bankrupt if they didn't get bailed out. And one of the reasons that they don't pay taxes is because all the money that they lost during the financial crisis. But, of course, had they been allowed to go bankrupt, it would be a much different situation. But meanwhile, I own a small company, my company, Europe Pacific Capital. I'm paying about 43% of my corporate income in taxes, because I can't take advantage of all these loopholes. And then whatever my personal income, I'm paying about 45% of what I earn in taxes. And if they raise them much higher, more than half my money is going to be stolen from me by the state and redistributed to other people. How long do they expect me to work if the government's going to take the fruits of my labor? And how long am I going to go on employing people and paying these taxes if I'm turned into a serf?
And for those that don't know, you can look this up. China has much lower corporate income tax. So do most other nations. The United States has, last time I checked, one of the highest corporate income taxes in the world.
It's actually, Alex, the only country that has a higher tax is Japan, but that's not actually true, because people forget about the state corporate income taxes. So if you have a corporation in New York or New Jersey or Connecticut or California or Chicago, you're paying an income tax rate well north of 40%. These other countries don't have the local income tax like we do. They just have one income tax. We have two, and sometimes if there's a city income tax, you got three.
Yeah, let me explain that to folks. People say Texas is great because there's no state income tax. But the truth is, in the last 5 years, Texas has passed 3 new business taxes, and they hit companies that start making over $100,000 a year. They have a franchise tax, hospital district taxes, several other taxes that now total federal tax, corporate tax, all the taxes I pay. By the end of it, I've got about 40% to get to my employees and for equipment and things, and then my employees all pay taxes, Peter.
Of course. I mean, I looked at my business, Europe's, my brokerage firm. The U.S. government makes far more money from my brokerage firm than I do. I mean, certainly if you just take a look at the revenues it collects from me in my income tax. But what about the income tax paid by over 100 of my employees that, because of me? And then if you look at all the other fees and licensing fees, and the government is making a fortune off of my business.
Look at your cell phone bill. I mean, how many little taxes do they just add now to that? I mean, it's the water taxes, the trash taxes. There's hundreds of these now. Now, Peter, in the time we've got left, breaking down your prognosis